Hey tappers, today I want to be ultra candid with you and very transparent. So when I make these videos for you, I'm in the room where I film them. This is my blue screen where I put the pretty background behind me afterwards. And I'm talking to a camera while envisioning you and sending you love. But there's something in front of my camera. It's called a teleprompter. And what it does is it feeds me the words of the script that I've written. And I write it as though I'm talking in the moment. So it's all still very heartfelt. It's all completely real and me. But the reason I do that is because of where I am in my journey of recovery from complex PTSD. I still have a fair amount of bouts with dissociation, and that right there, I don't want to do that in the videos. And there's oftentimes when I'm doing something that doesn't have a certain level of engagement, my brain checks out, and it's hard for me to pull it back to the present moment, because there are still parts of me that go, oh, today's a stressful day and I don't think I want to be here. And then it's like the present moment becomes fuzzy, you know? Does that make sense? And there are multiple ways where I experience dissociation. That isn't always the way it feels to me. But when I sit in front of a camera and I'm really, really wanting to share a principle with you or a perspective of something with you, and then I'm having a day where the words just don't come, and I know they're in there, and I've got them somewhere. I've had the thoughts, and I know I can put words together and out of my mouth, but very often I sit down and my brain goes blank. So I'm sharing this with you today because you've heard my story, and you've seen me talk a lot about everything that EFT can do. But I want you to know I'm still on my journey too. I'm nowhere near complete. And you know, something that Dawson mentions a lot when he's speaking to a group of people, I believe he says it every single time, but I think it's a little bit glossed over. It's not given a lot of attention. He says that he still taps every single day. Dawson taps every single day. He has been a forerunner of this technique for the last 20 years, but he still taps every single day. And he doesn't do it because, you know, oh, well, now I can say I've tapped today, or, you know, I guess I'll just keep going. I've been doing it for so long now. No, he has things that he finds to tap on, you know, and he's tapping positive things into his life, and he's setting his brain connection, you know, for the day. This isn't something that has an end zone with, you know, it's, when will I get there? When will I be complete? Well, I hope you don't. I hope you don't become complete with it, because it's something that is meant to be a companion for you, a guide for you, a support for you. Kind of like when you find a best friend, it's not something you go, oh, I wonder where our end is going to be. You know, that's not something you want to think about. And I know friendships fluctuate and end and begin and whatnot, but that's not the intention when you go to make that connection with someone. And here at least in the United States, we're so focused on anything with health having to do with being kind of like a ladder. You know, when you get to the top of a ladder, you've reached your destination and you no longer use the ladder. You know, if you're not planning on going back down, then you're done with it. You leave it behind, and there's kind of I did it. I beat that ladder. Look at me. And so applying that to EFT may feel like, okay, when am I going to reach that level where I could go, okay, oh, no, I don't need it every day anymore. No, I'm solid. I'm really good. And I mean, you can do that. Absolutely. And then pick it back up, you know, when you're feeling like you need it again. But I suggest to you and invite you to instead to shift your thinking on it if that's where you've been with it. And also to give yourself grace, you know, to give yourself time and support and love as you go through your journey of rewiring everything that was wired for you before you knew what was happening in your experiences and things that you were given. This is a bit of a deep dive off the side, but hello, here's my brain. Let's go. it's proven that stress signals are passed through the DNA that you receive from 2 generations ago. So you receive now the signals, it's not like a locked in precursor of this will absolutely happen to you. We know that the vast majority of DNA is not like that. It's triggered from something outside of the DNA strand itself. But the structure for it, this is why I have scripts. The way it's laid out, the way it's going to light up. Okay, so say these 4 keys mean that you're feeling okay, and if this one's bent like this and this one's out like that, then that means that you're predisposed to stress. Okay, so even though this is completely adjustable and can be put back here, by whatever the signal it's receiving, the epigenetic signal from it, but this is what you're given. Okay, so you're born into your life predisposed to stress because that was how your mother, your father, your grandmother, your grandfather operated, and that's what was passed down to you, was that code, that signal. So there are things that you're potentially dealing with that weren't yours to begin with. And all of those take a while to get to and unwind. And doing this for you this way is, I don't even want to watch it before I post it, but it's a little vulnerable for me because I like to be really clear and concise with my communication, and sometimes I'm just not. And that's really hard for me, but I wanted you to see that from me because it's real. It's part of being human, and it's part of this journey of educating yourself on trauma and what that looks like and the steps through it. And it's a dance. It's not a straight march. You're going to have some days where, man, you're hitting everything, and you're going to have other days where it's like, really? Why do I even have feet? It's different for everybody, but it's also, there are similarities. So I hope that me showing this to you helps you understand that, and to be a little bit more forgiving and loving with yourself, and feel more secure, more excitement, more hope in your journey. Because you know my story, right? You know the incredible things that I've talked about, the people who've sat in front of me where I've seen them shift. And all of that's still true. That's every single word I've ever shared with you. True, 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 true. But this is a part of that too. So the stumbling, this word dissociation, and it still happened, and it's still continuing for me. So from my bumbly brain and my loving heart to you, I'll see you soon.